ቶሎ ቤተነሽ
ወይኔ ሰዓቱ ረፍዷል የገበያ ሰዓት ረፈደ ቶሎ እንነሳ
Elham, who lives in Kombolcha, she wakes up early to brighten up her future. She chose her business to change her life. Transportation cost is very expensive and challenging for Elham. We collect materials from merchants and also the transportation. Customers leave us when we are some price. We have not any choice rather than adding some price in customers. That cost is transportation cost. MSA Import and Export Company in Kombolcha exports grain products.
ከታወቁ ግብር ከፋዮች ከሀገሪቱ ከ200 ግብር ከፋዮች ባለፈው ተሸላሚና አንደኛ ነው።
The company is one of the 200 leading taxpayers in Ethiopia. It earned at least $10 million foreign exchange.
ከ10 ሚሊዮን ዶላር ያላነሰ የውጭ ምንዛሬ ማስገኝቷል።
In Ethiopia, there is no fast and cost-effective transportation system that can increase local production capacity and support exporters. Companies are struggling with this problem.
እንግዲህ እንደየምርቱ አቅርቦቱ ነው።
According to our supply, the amount of our export varies from month to month. Our company is well known and there is no shortage of foreign exchange. But due to shortage of supply, we only send 20 to 30 quintals of production monthly. So far, we have exported 120,000 quintals of production to Djibouti. We send it by car. And there are products that are not safely delivered to our customers. Due to transportation problem, there is a delay and also our customers are complaining. We have to spray chemical to prevent our production from damage. But the product stays on the road for 15 to 20 days.
15 ቀን 20 ቀን በመንገድ የሚቆዩበት ሁኔታ አለ።
Local and foreign producers are working at Kombolcha Industrial Park. Companies which are supporters of countries' foreign exchange have been challenged by lack of fast transportation system.
ከኛ ፓርክ በአጠቃላይ በወር ከ20 እስከ 30 ኮንቴነሮች ይወጣሉ። ከ20 እስከ 30
We are discharging 20 to 30 containers from this park each month. We have sent it by car. We have to bring products by car. Firstly, there is a problem of delay. It is difficult to deliver timely as customers order us. Secondly, the delivery cost is very high. Thirdly, the products we export and import may be damaged because of the backward system of transportation.
ትራንስፖርት ሲስተማችን ወይም የምንጠቀመው ትራንስፖርት በተሽከርካሪ መሆኑ በርካታ የሆኑ አሉታዊ ጎኖች አሉ ማለት ነው።
The export and import trade, which has been hampered by slow transportation system, is creating a gap between manufacturers and customers.
የምንልከው ገቢም ወጪም
We use a car to send and import products. This means our customers always expect the product might arrive in 2 or 3 days after the delivery schedule. This is low in terms of customer satisfaction.
Ethiopia's transportation cost is draining its money. According to the Ministry of Trade, most of the income and expenditure imbalances are occurred by transportation costs.
Imagine logistics cost የምንለው አሁን the logistics cost ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ያለው logistics cost የሚባለው
Imagine the logistics cost of Ethiopia is 40% per product. For instance, when you want to buy an item, you must increase the price by 45%.
አዳርግበት ነው ምክንያቱም 45% ይፈጃል
አንዳንድ ጊዜ ከ40% በላይ
Sometimes the cost of transportation is more than 40% of the cost of the product. Depending on product's type, the transportation cost might be more than 40%. In this inflation time, the cost of transportation is causing a huge damage to our country.
ወጪዎች መካከል አንዱ የትራንስፖርት ወጪ
Development work in eastern Amhara is rising. According to Kombolcha City administration, there are more than 12,000 merchants, more than 755 investors, and 201 industries in Kombolcha City.
በርካታ ኢንቨስተሮች ወደዚህ ኢንቨስት ለማድረግ እየተንቀሳቀሱ ነው
Many investors are participating. Importers and exporters are also increasing. Compared to the previous 6 months of last year, it surpassed by almost 600 million birr. The government tax exemption capacity is increasing. This means that the system needs quick transportation to carry the huge production capacity.
ቀረጥ ነፃ እየፈቀደለበት ያለው ሁኔታ እየጨመረ መጥቷል ነው
በጎረቤት ሀገር ወደብ ነው እየተጠቀምን ያለን
We are using neighboring countries port. Neighboring country ports are very expensive if we do not have fast and efficient logistics system. If the goods we are importing and exporting do not arrive early, we have to pay additional money for each time. And also the quality of the product will decline. So productivity can be developed or increased when there is faster and more cost-effective transportation system. Railway-like transport can carry a lot of production.
እንደ ባቡር አይነት መሰረተ ልማት ሲኖረን ነው ትራንስፖርቴሽን ሲኖረን
Kombolcha has a wide range of industries. The city has also development opportunities, but the backward transportation system is a gap for development.
መቶ ተሽከርካሪ አሰልፈ የምታጓጉዘውን እቃ አንድ ባቡር አንድ ጊዜ ሊያመጣ ይችላል
A train can carry a load of 100 vehicles. This will save your time. This will also save the country's fuel consumption. And this will save a lot. It means we can collect the taxes from goods.
እኛም ደግሞ ከዛ እቃ ሰበሰብ የሚችለውን ቀረጥና ታክስ ሰብስበን ወደ ኢኮኖሚ መልስ እናስገባለን ማለት ነው
ወጪ ንግዱ ይልቅ የገቢ ንግዱ ነው በጣም ከፍተኛ
Import trade is higher than export trade in Ethiopia. This is a reason for trade imbalance. So, I can say that a railway is indispensable for the country.
የልብ ምት ነው ማለት ይችላል
እንግዲህ እኛ ሀገር የሚነራል ሴክተሩን ማሳደግ አለብን
When we say we need to grow our country's mining sector, we need to grow our agricultural sector. And when we say we need to develop the manufacturing sector, we are talking about increasing productivity. Raw materials are significant for production. These raw materials must be delivered quickly and in large quantities. After production, we need to move our products into market. There is a big difference between moving by car and using railway. Therefore, the railway can play a major role to bring national competitiveness. When we say we need to grow, we need to think about what will happen after the production. If we do not think about the fastest transportation system, our production will not be sold on time. We can't sell in a good price at a later date.
ያ የተመረተ ምርት ገበያ ላይ አይደርስም። ገበያ ላይ ቢደርስ የሚሸጥበት ዋጋ ተወዳዳሪ አይሆንም ማለት ነው።
Railways have changed world civilization since 18th century. It has made life easier for citizens by connecting cities and countries. The growth of China, India and Russia is also linked to the railway.
የሀገራት እድገት ብዙ ጊዜ ሁለት ነገሮችን እየተከተለ የሚመጣ ነው ይላሉ ብዙ ኢኮኖሚስቶች።
Many economists say that development comes by two things. One is through railway and the other is through power.
የኃይል አቅርቦትን በመከተል ነው።
The history of Ethiopia's railway dates back more than a century. Emperor Menelik II gave birth to Ethiopian modernity. He also launched a railway service in Ethiopia.
Different dialogues had brought result. In 1885 Ethiopian calendar, the emperor have discussed how to set up a share company and launched railway.
የነበሩት አጼ ምኒልክ ያደረጉት ውይይት ውጤት ነው ብሎ መውሰድ ይቻላል።
In March 1887, Ethiopian calendar, Emperor Menelik II signed an agreement with a French company to build a 784 kilometers railway from Addis Ababa to Djibouti. Work began in 1890 Ethiopian calendar and the train arrived in Redwa after 20 years. Well-known journalist and author Aulos Nyonyo described this movement in his book titled Ate Minilik.
Following discussions in 1885, the construction of the railway was completed in December 1922 Ethiopian calendar. When the train arrived in Addis Ababa, it was inaugurated by Queen Zauditu.
The railway project, which was started by Emperor Menelik II, was not realized by the coming generation.
When we are looking at the historical background of the railway, beginning from its inception in 1922 Ethiopian calendar, there was the Italian occupation from 1928 to 1933 Ethiopian calendar. So, railway construction is unthinkable during that time. Even after 1933, the country had no income and could not afford to build a railway. Since 1967 Ethiopian calendar, even the Derg had not project as large as a railway. But the saddest thing is the failure to continue this work.
The United States has a big number of railway in the world. South Africa is the largest in Africa. It has 26,000 kilometers, but Ethiopia has been on the same page for a century.
አሁን ኢትዮጵያ ያለችበት ሁኔታ ላይ በሁለት መስመር ማየት ይቻላል። የድሮ almost
we can see the country's railway transportation system. The old 200 kilometers railway from Redwa to Djibouti is in operation. It is mainly used for travelers. There is a 750 kilometers railway from Addis Ababa to Djibouti. From these, 650 kilometers are located in Ethiopia. Currently, a 610 kilometers railway is under construction.
ያለ ወደ 610 ነው ያለው። ስለዚህ አሁን ኤግዛክትሊ 650 ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ አገልግሎት የሚሰጠው ውስጥ ያለ ጅቡቲ ያለውን ጋራ ደምረን እስከ ፖርቱ ድረስ የሚሰጠውን አገልግሎት ጀምሮ 750 ኪሎ ሜትር ይሆናል ማለት ነው።
Now, it has opened a new chapter for the construction of a century-old Ethiopian railway. To connect the northern part of Ethiopia, the railway construction of Awash Kombolcha Waldia Haragabaya Mekelle has started.
ከአዋሽ እስከ ወልዲያ ያለው
It is 392 kilometers from Awash to Waldia and also 216 kilometers from Waldia to Mekelle.
የአዋሽ ኮምቦልቻ ሀራገበያ የተጀመረው
These projects are under construction. The construction of the Awash Kombolcha Haragabaya project has begun on October 18. The construction budget is $1.7 billion, and this project is one of the country's 5,000 kilometers railway plan.
After the train was arrived in Ethiopia before 100 years, now the construction of Awash Kombolcha Haragabaya railway project has begun in 2007 Ethiopian calendar to facilitate local exports, to support the manufacturing industry, and to improve national growth. The Awash Kombolcha Haragabaya railway project will play a key role.
በዋናነት የሚፈለግበት ምክንያት ምርትና ምርታማነትን ከማሳደግ አኳያ ነው።
Primarily, we need to increase our productivity. So, in order to increase this productivity, the movement of goods and people must be supported by fast and cheap transportation.
ምርትና ምርታማነትን ለማሳደግ ከፍተኛ አስተዋጽኦ ያበረክታል ተብሎ ነው የሚታሰበው።
The construction of the Awash Kombolcha Haragabaya railway is being divided into two phases.
ከመጀመሪያ ወደ ሁለት ምዕራፍ የተከፈለበት
One of the main reasons for the split of the project into two phases is that the project is being built by Turkish Exim Bank and European lenders. The $1.235 billion loan was not enough to complete the project, so it was necessary to split the project into two phases. Therefore, the two projects have different time plans. The first project is the 270 kilometers railway from Awash to Kombolcha, and this was completed 2 years ago.
በአሁኑ ሰዓት እንግዲህ ከ2 ዓመት በፊት የተጠናቀቀ ፕሮጀክት ነው።
In construction process, in addition to many excavations, it was difficult to build tunnels under huge mountains.
በአጠቃላይ የዋሻ ስራዎች ሁለት ዋና ዋና የስራ ክፍሎች አሉ።
There are two main types of cave works. One is establishing of the tunnel or cave. The other is concrete work. After those big works, minor works like railway paving and power line extension will continue.
የኃይል መስመር ዝርጋታ ይካሄዳሉ።
Twelve caves are made from huge mountains. The caves have a total length of 10.7 kilometers.
ፕሮጀክታችን ውስጥ ሁለት አይነት ዋሻዎች አሉ በአሰራር ደረጃ።
There are two types of tunnels in this project. There are tunnels more than a kilometer long. These tunnels have corridors where passengers can escape from fire. They are also equipped with a ventilation system that prevent passengers from being suffocated by smoke.
ሲስተም ተገጥሞለታል።
In phase 1, the constructions of tunnels have been completed. Railways and power cords have been completed.
እንደምታዩት ሁሉም ነገር አልቋል።
As you can see, the construction is completed in line with European standard.
ስታንዳርዱን የጠበቀ በአውሮፓ ስታንዳርድ ነው የተሰራው።
Long bridges have been built to make seriable rail for trains. In just 270 kilometers from Awash to Kombolcha, 12 bridges have been built. Of this, a bridge with a length of 640 meters and a height of 54 meters is spectacular.
In this project, there are bridges as huge as large floors were constructed,
which passes through the almost most difficult terrain of the Ethiopia.
Phase 1 railway project is completed after many trial and complex work.
የኛ ፕሮጀክት የተሰራበት ስታንዳርድ የአውሮፓ ስታንዳርድ ነው።
The project was developed by European standard. All of these devices are equipped with European standards. They have their own set of parameters. There is someone who controls it.
ያንን እየተቆጣጠረ ነው የሚሰራው።
The project have railway stations. Those stations are modern and combines with impressive architecture and national profiles.
ኮምቦልቻ ባቡር ጣቢያ በኮምቦልቻ ከተማ የሚገኝ
Kombolcha railway station is located in Kombolcha and it is part of Awash Kombolcha Waldi Hara Gabaya project. It also provides services for travelers.
ለመንገደኞች አስፈላጊውን አገልግሎት የሚሰጥ ጣቢያ ነው።
ስቴሽኖቻችን ያው ይህ ባቡር ለሚያስተናግዳቸው ባቡሮች በቂ ነው ተብሎ የተገነቡ ናቸው እና ዘመናዊም ናቸው።
Railway stations are large enough to accommodate all trains. They are modern. When the project goes into operation, 6 trains will come from Addis Ababa or Djibouti. Those trains can hold up to 750 people at a time. Railway stations have the capacity to handle this number at once. All stations are built with the same quality and capacity. Their service is the same.
በየአንዳንዱ ስቴሽን ላይ ተመሳሳይ ፈንክሽን ወይም ጥቅም ያላቸው ናቸው።
Railway stations were built considering natural resources. Travelers can see the natural landscape, the mountain ranges and the long bridges.
ከአዋሽ 00 ተነስተን እስከ ኮምቦልቻ ድረስ 270
From Awash to Kombolcha, it is about 270 kilometers and there is 7 railway stations. All stations have been built in the same quality and standard. All 7 stations provide travel and freight services.
አንድ ቲፒካል የሆኑ ተመሳሳይ ጣቢያዎች ናቸው።
የሃይቅን ስቴሽን ባነሳላችሁ ተመሳሳይ በጣም ውበት ያለውና ዘመናዊ የሆነ ስቴሽን ነው እንደ ኮምቦልቻው።
If we look the hike station, it is as modern as Kombolcha and other stations. What makes it special is that it is built on the shore of the lake hike. Passengers can enjoy by the lake and its surroundings.
ከመጓጓዝ ባለፈ ተጓጓዡ አካባቢውን እያደነቀ እየተደመመ እየተደሰተ የሚሄድበት ልዩ ባቡር መስመር ነው ብለን ነው የምንወስደው።
አሁን የምዕራፍ 1 ስራዎች አልቀው
In phase 1, constructions of 4 stations have been completed. Those are ready for service. The construction was completed 2 years ago. If they have got a power supply, they can give service.
የሚቀረው አንድ ነገር ነው፣ እሱም የኃይል አቅርቦት ብቻ ነው።
When we talk about train, we need to talk about maintenance service. So, the largest railway maintenance center were built in Kombolcha.
ሶስት ባቡር መጠገኛ ማዕከሎች አሉ።
There are 3 maintenance centers. This is the biggest of all and the largest in Ethiopia. By the way, it is also the largest in Africa.
ግዙፉ ነው።
This workshop facility in Ethiopia is the biggest in the Eastern Africa, as we know. This facility supplies a maintenance chain for the locomotives, also to manufacture spare parts for the trains, to provide maintenance parts if needed.
The Kombolcha Maintenance Center is equipped with machines that control the overall movement of the train.
እነኚህ ማሽኖች በአንዴ 8 ባቡር መጠገን እንችላለን።
With these machines, we can repair 8 trains at once. This center is not just for train maintenance. Here is industrial park in Kombolcha. If any machines breaks down, we can produce by its specification.
አምርተን ልናስረክበው እንችላለን።
በዚህ ፕሮጀክት ላይ እንግዲህ ሲጠናቀቅ በሙሉ አቅሙ ሲሰራ እስከ 26 ባቡሮች ይስተናገዱ።
There will be 26 trains when this project starts operation. 6 of them will carry people, and 20 are freight service trains. These trains are controlled by the Technical Building Control Center at the Kombolcha workshop. One person monitors that trains to maintain their assigned distance and speed, and also that person monitors to avoid collision.
ባቡሮችን አላስፈላጊ ግጭት እንዳይፈጠር እንዲቆም የመሳሰሉትን ነገሮች ኦፕሬት የሚደረገው በአንድ ሰው ነው።